Oh, I'm Detective Kevin Warren. I'm the new bias crimes investigator. Actually, I've only been doing it for a few months, but I'm taking over from Michelle Michaels.
John Eckhart has been moved from detectives up to the chief's office on the assistant chief of investigations.
I will move to the Vice Crime reports by Portland Police Bureau, and is that Kevin Warren?
It is.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Again, my name is Kevin Warren with Bias Crimes, and this is my first time addressing the group, and I'm honored to be here. It's a pleasure to talk to you all. What you should have in front of you are Bias Crimes summaries for the months of November and December. And I'll take them 1 month at a time. December won't take long, so we only have one documented case. There's one that's so designated. And in November, you'll see that, or as I'll describe to you, there basically 2 people caused our November numbers to inflate in the way that they did. In the first 3 plus the 5th case are all by the same person who was taken into custody and placed on a mental hold. His name is Michael Chapman. And he was going around northwest Portland with a special emphasis on Beth Israel Temple and making threats. He wound up being arrested. He also made some threats to police officers and to some other passersby. One was a mixed-race couple. They were walking down the street and were paying him no money whatsoever. And he accosted them and caused them some threats, or made the threats against them. In case number 09-103-021 and 023 is a domestic violence case involving disparate treatment based on sexual identification. That case is still pending. No arrests have been made yet. And then the bottom case was one where a person assaulted a person verbally based on their status as a disabled person, and that person is in custody. Turning to the December numbers, the December case, the only one we have was basically a bar fight in which one patron accosted another one based on his perception of the person's sexual orientation. That case was assigned to me only as of yesterday, and I've only begun the investigation, so we're still looking at who the suspects are and what the crimes are that were committed. That's what I have for those 2 months. If you have any questions, happy to answer them to you.
I'm sorry, what happened, the incident where the ex-boyfriend went into the house and assaulted a person? I'm sorry, what was that? What's happening with that?
It's a domestic violence case. It is still pending. We're still getting information from people involved and having some issues as far as communicating with people that are involved in it. So there may be a pending case, and it's not so much in contact this time. I haven't closed it yet.
I've heard something about this Chapman case. Can you say again which of these numbers are?
Sure. Going from the top, this case is number, 101-085, 852.
Oh, that was him?
It is, yes. He's part of that as well.
Okay.
That's
Where
unrelated
was
to
that first one?
The very top one, it was, I think that was up near Pioneer Courthouse Square.
Okay.
He came across a security guard, African-American security guard, and made those statements to him.
Okay, and then what's the other one from him?
The second one, the third one, and then,
The second one and the third one, all of those, yeah.
yes,
Okay.
and then the second from the bottom. That's the one involving Beth Israel,
Right.
which was also caught on video.
This guy has nothing to do with the people who tried to throw out their literature in Northwest Portland and
The National Socialist Party.
yeah, and then who tried, what were they trying to do? They were trying to, I don't remember if I heard this wrong, they were trying to hand out literature to Jews leaving synagogue, but they were there on a Wednesday night when nobody was there.
Right.
And, yeah,
To
sure.
my knowledge, he's unrelated to that group.
Okay, so Chapman isn't mentally just messed up.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
And I'm sorry, where is he now?
Last I understood, he was in a psychiatric hold facility. I'm not sure if he's at Portland Adventist or if he's in transfer. I'm not sure where he is.
So a psychiatric holding facility, is that connected with Portland Police,
No.
or? Oh,
He is not.
okay.
It's not a police hold?
Well, police holds are temporary. You know, they're upwards of maybe 72 hours, and then each person that's held is entitled to a commitment hearing. And then at that point, the psychiatric board can place them on a longer hold until they're stabilized. But police holds aren't definite and are subject to review.
We had a busy week.
That was a busy week.
With him?
Yeah, just with one guy, one-man crime wave.
Is Hexer?
Detective Warren,
Yes, sir.
has this person been charged?
In criminal courts with the offenses, not to my knowledge, no.
What type of charge would be appropriate for something like this?
Looking at the cases that I've got, and I was not the lead on these cases, probably harassments. Because there's no assaults associated with them. There could be a second-degree intimidation also attached, but the primary crime would likely be harassment or disorderly conduct, which are be misdemeanors.
So what means arrest was made in this case? And number, in the case 1895, at the end says arrest was made in case.
Well, it means the suspect was placed into custody. In this case, it was a mental hold.
No, okay.
That's right.
But then he got out because he did something on the 16th.
Well, we didn't find him right away.
Oh, I see.
So the incident occurred on the 12th, and then he was arrested.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay, got it, got it.
yeah. He wasn't finally arrested until this last case on the 19th.
So I'm wondering, he hasn't really assaulted anyone other than verbally per se.
Correct.
But with this amount of verbal assault, does it add up, does it become cumulative to result in some other kind of fine or charge?
In some cases, especially relating to those of theft and forgeries, there is an aggregate associated with them, but not in the way of harassment or discounts. The DA's office can look at it a little differently, can look at that and make a decision whether or not they want to try to pursue something different, especially since these are violence crime related. And looking at secondary intimidations, maybe using that as a way of trying to do a hold on him in jail, like a community safety exemption, where they place someone in jail in lieu of bail. But for the most part, they're really using for discount and harassment.
So this seems like the kind of person who will go around harassing until they finally do something serious. In which case, then people will look back and say, well, there was this whole series of things, and, you know, what can be done? Because this happens too often, that this sort of thing happens, that it shows a pattern of behavior, but it's just right up to the line and not over it.
That's correct.